suppose we ought to begin. My sister always maintained that the cards better behave before supper. However, I find them equally dramatic at any hour. So this evening, we'll attempt a courtship reading. We'll start with first impressions. We'll move on to what the maid knows. And then, finally, we'll all determine together where to set your cap, which, in fairness, that's usually the difficulty. Now then, let us see what has become of your romantic prospects. Starting with first impressions. All right. Oh, we have the Page of Cups. The Lovers. Oh. And the Moon card. My dear, somebody is very confused. And it's easy to understand why. This very much looks like the beginning stages of an attachment, not an established romance. No, indeed, this is the dangerous stage of courtship, where nobody says anything directly, and both parties begin assigning emotional meaning to perfectly ordinary interactions. You may presently find yourself rereading messages, or reinterpreting glances, or wondering whether a particular tone of voice meant something. And these cards, they really do suggest that perhaps it did. The difficulty comes back to this moon. The moon suggests uncertainty alongside attraction. Either this person is difficult to read, or they are trying very hard not to be read at all. I'm not sure which is worse. Still, overall, I do not dislike this combination. The Page of Cups tells me there's genuine feeling here, real curiosity, emotional attention. Somebody's watching you carefully. But the moon suggests uncertainty, not deception. Not deception exactly, more like restraint. Like a person attempting very hard not to reveal the full extent of their interest, which naturally reveals it almost immediately. Very few people conceal affection well. Pride, perhaps, but true, genuine affection, no. Indeed, and the Lovers at the center tells me this connection has already become emotionally significant to you, whether you intended it to or not. This is usually how things begin, quietly, then all at once. Let's move on to what the Maid knows. That's where we can arrive at the truth of any household. We have the Three of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. My dear, I see this gentleman all around you. He's offering assistance, lingering in conversation, finding extremely unnecessary reasons to remain nearby. The servants have noticed. Of course they have. Everybody has noticed. I think we're at the point where only the participants remain uncertain. And now we have the Knight of Wands. My sister distrusts a gentleman represented by wands, but I say he explains the difficulty perfectly. This person is capable of creating emotional intensity very quickly. Charming, confident, you know the type, warm when present. Then, alas, we get to the absence, and interpretation becomes impossible. Not because the feeling is false. Quite the opposite, I think. Some people, they simply experience affection like weather. Intense, sudden, overwhelming, but difficult to rely upon from day to day. I hope you understand me. The Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords tells me you may already be exhausting yourself attempting to interpret this correctly. Wondering whether you've imagined the connection, whether you misread the attention, whether you've become foolish. If not, but you're exhausted. I will share with you many intelligent women, and I count myself as no exception. We have a tragic tendency to assume we are imagining things precisely when we begin to perceive them accurately. Our only choice is to draw more cards to determine where to set our cap. We have the Temperance, the Six of Cups, and the Ace of Cups. This improves things considerably. With the Temperance card, I dare say, an adult appears to be entering the narrative, and it's refreshing. It tells me that the connection is unlikely to unfold dramatically. Indeed, I'd say there's no midnight declarations, there's no running through the fields in the rain, and I assure you that's for the best, because you have the Six of Cups here. And that suggests a strange emotional familiarity between the two of you, as though conversation becomes natural before either person fully understands why. This card, it tends to appear when affection begins softening rather than merely exciting. This is a much rarer thing than society admits, and with Ace of Cups at the end of all this, against all the available evidence, I confess that makes me nervous, slightly nervous. Still, if you are asking me where to set your cap, I should say this: do not place your affections where you must constantly perform uncertainty in order to maintain interest. Place them where you can become yourself, calmer, kinder, more honest. The romances worth having rarely begin as lightning strikes. Indeed, more often, they arrive as the quiet realization that a particular person has become extremely important to your happiness, and this often happens before you've properly noticed it occurring. Now then, I do not think you are doomed, and considering modern courtship, that's rather encouraging, wouldn't you say? So until next time, try not to marry anybody in a hurry, try not to marry anybody alarming, and do call again. Thank you so much.